Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in Venice Beach, California, with my co-host, Joey. No chill, Prano.
Hello, Andy.
We meet again.
Anybody that's watching this on YouTube is like, you guys are wearing the same clothes you wore for Monday's episode, except the Mermandy has been replaced by a Australian Football League jersey, a Brisbane Lions jersey, which if you listened or watched the pre-show, shout out to Maniacal Mitch who just sent us that. That's our couch decoration for the day. But we are recording this, in fact, just hours after we wrapped Monday's show.
A Dirty Sports doubleheader.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And then I got to record Dirty Slides after this.
We got to talk about my boy Thuston right now. Prano's going to bang out 2 episodes of Dirty Sports because he's leaving.
Land at 11 p.m. Sunday in the Smut Studio, 10 a.m. 3 o'clock, 4:30. Fly out again 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thus the process.
Would you call yourself the LeBron James of podcasting?
I'm saying, a lot of people are going, how long can you honestly keep it up at this rate? A devastating injury is probably only moments away.
You want to be my guest on Dent Report as well?
I do want to be a guest on the Dent Report. I know that was thrown out there.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. I like the direction the Dent Report's been going in lately, and a lot of good episodes. While I was gone, I was crisscrossing the tri-state area. I listened to a lot of Marin because I had stockpiled some great guests that I wanted to listen to, and I listened to a lot of Dent Report, and I listened to a Stripper episode. I listened to, what was the other episode that you did that was pretty good? I listened to Justin Wood.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that to you on the phone. You kept saying banging comics in that one.
Yeah.
I was like, what comics are you banging? No, a lot of Dent Report. I thusted the DSPN while I was gone.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And on my trip.
I still don't listen to this show, but.
Yeah. Well.
You stopped listening to this show, too. Back in the day, you used to record it and then listen to it.
There's only so much time. Like, now, there's only so much time in the day.
Yeah.
I try to listen.
Back in the day when we were only doing one episode a week, you're like, Prano, got to help our numbers. Give it a listen. I'm like, I've never listened to it.
But I was also in my car a lot more.
Yeah.
Now that I mostly stick to the bicycle.
Plus, you got Rogan these days.
Yeah, that is a marathon, bro. That is no joke, man. Plus, a lot of times, what I've realized too is when I ride my bike. Well, first of all, I don't listen to anything when I ride my bike on the street. I want to hear a car that might hit me and kill me.
Yeah.
Because LA drivers are idiots. But also, when I ride my bike on the beach paths, I love just hearing nature now. Like, I'm real big into that. That's the latest Andy Ruther kick. No music, nothing. Even if it's like for an hour ride, I just want to hear the sounds, take it all in.
Yeah.
Mentally thust.
So it's sort of like meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done a float lab for.
Are you off the float lab, or are you just taking yours on a break?
No, I just haven't had time to schedule, but that's important for me. I need to do that. But I leave. By the time they hear this, I will already be in Cincinnati.
Right.
Or on my way.
Which is why we're recording this today.
Yeah.
We're doing a sort of evergreen episode. We are going to cover some news that has happened since this morning's episode, and then we've got a little special something planned for you guys.
Also, the only difference of this morning and now is now I'm barefoot. So for the people who came in the YouTube comments earlier this morning and were saying, "Oh, we need Ruther shoeless,"
here you are.
You get the bare feet.
You got to be like squishing fluffernutters with that or something. That's what the foot fetish people want. They want you to see you crunching things with your toes.
That's so weird.
Get a little marshmallow in there, maybe a little peanut butter.
So weird, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. Foot fetish people. What's weirder than that? I'm into feet. There's only 2 groups of people.
The Furbies are weird.
Yeah. People who hate feet and people who are like super into feet. I actually like have no real problem one way or the other.
Me either.
But usually it's like, oh, feet disgust me. And then people are like, I fucking want to eat your feet. And you're like,
yeah.
Whoa.
The Furbies, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, furries.
Furries, not
Furbies.
Furbies.
Were like, Furby.
Furbies were Tim Kirchin. Yeah. But I think the furries have conventions.
Yeah.
But the furries.
I used to do a joke about furries, by the way. Like, I used to do a joke like, how do you figure out you're a furry? Like your dad takes you to your first ball game as a kid, The Philly fanatic jumps on the dugout and just suddenly you're rock hard.
You've told me that joke. I really want you to bring that back.
Just like, I remember when I was a kid, I went to a Mariners game with my dad, and the Mariner Moose came out, and I had to get up. I had to go fucking jerk off in the bathroom. Like, I just couldn't stop thinking about that moose. I was like, I want to grab his antlers and just take him to fucking Pound Town.
I think it's a great joke because that's one of those jokes where the people who don't get it are clueless.
Yeah.
But the people who get it love it.
Yeah.
I like that though. That a joke like that just divides a room.
Yeah.
Completely in half. Well, again, we just recorded this morning, and we already have some breaking news. Rajon Rondo
has joined the Los Angeles Lakers.
So,
and they've renounced Julius Randle.
What does that mean?
It just means that he's now an unrestricted free agent. So a restricted free agent, like you talked about on the episode this morning, means that somebody else offers him money, they have an opportunity to match. And if they match, he's theirs. They have renounced him. So if he has a deal that he likes out there, he can just take it.
But what if he doesn't? Then they're stuck with him?
No, he's essentially a free agent.
Okay, gotcha. You like this Rondo move a lot.
I don't like it a lot, but I like it. I like it in terms of, this is what I was saying on the episode, is like they're not building a team like this. Obviously, there's some sort of star power that they're planning for, right? They're trying to carve out a chunk for a Boogie, a Kawhi, or whatever. There's somebody that they want to fill in that other space, but they're doing exactly what I said, which is they're getting vets. Rondo 1 year. They're getting vets that want to come and win with LeBron. And I'm just saying, think about this. Like, you still need to figure out a way to score, right? But if you were building a team specifically, the only point of the team that you're making is to guard Steph, Clay, KD, and Draymond. Rondo, Lance Stevenson, Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron James. Pretty good, right? Matchup wise, Rondo on Steph,
it is
Lance on Clay, Kawhi on KD, LeBron on Draymond, playing free safety with the chase downs. LeBron loves playing the help defense now. Let Draymond shoot. That's a pretty good. Now, obviously, key to that strategy is you got to get Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
So I know that's a big ask, but I'm saying if that was your goal to put together a team, like, who else would you have? Rondo, obviously a Rondo, Paul George, Kawhi, LeBron would be a pretty good fucking team too, but or like a Rondo, Jimmy Butler.
The only problem is with that team, two of those guys can't score.
Right.
Lance and Rondo.
Rondo can't. Rondo's a pass first. Lance can score.
He can.
He just can't shoot.
Yeah.
He's just not an outside threat. But my point is, Ingram can score. And, if you get a Kawhi or a Boogie in there, they're going to be able to score. I don't know if you heard. I know the Warriors are pretty good at basketball. LeBron James didn't have any trouble scoring against them. He scored 51.
Yeah. Well, I have a feeling by the time this episode's released, there's a good chance the Lakers will have added somebody else.
You got to think Lonzo Ball's going somewhere, right? The Rondo, is that the writing on the wall for Lonzo?
I don't know, man. I mean, Rondo, that's a 1-year deal. That's basically saying they don't care about building around Lonzo. I mean, Lonzo's only 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Even after LeBron's contract's done, he's 23, 24.
Right. I know, but I mean, the point is that you have to if you're the Lakers, the LeBron to the Lakers is LeBron is back, right? Or the Lakers are back, I should say. You're not planning for after LeBron, or else you wouldn't have gotten LeBron in the first place.
Yeah, true. Win now. I don't know, man. It's interesting though.
Lonzo in a 3-team deal that brings Kawhi.
I just don't see Lonzo on the Spurs because I just don't see Popovich wanting to end his career dealing with, LeVar Ball.
Right.
And all
Lonzo
that.
in a 3-team deal that brings Kawhi to the Lakers? To Kawhi to the Lakers?
I mean, that might happen. The Lakers would be pretty nice then,
Yeah.
pending who they had to give up.
Right.
I think I'm more sold on Kuzma right now than Ingram, to be honest.
I like them both.
I know Ingram was a second overall pick. He's only played 2 years, but
No, Kuzma's legit, no doubt about it. But I like both of those guys.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah,
Kuzma.
rub those feet, bro.
I mean, was I rubbing my feet?
Yeah. This guy jerking off as they watch us. Who would have thought?
We have some weirdos.
Yeah.
Did you see the tweet I put out of what's the weirdest or craziest way you were dumped or somebody dumped you?
I did see that. Yeah.
Fascinating. They got like 45 responses.
Any like super crazy ones?
I mean, there were just ones like, yeah, there were some weird ones. Like dudes were dumping chicks about how they typed or texted, like, you know, just their grammar or how a girl ate her peas. Like,
oh, if I had a girl with like just horrible spelling grammar,
yeah,
definitely you would never, because I'd be like, I can't be slumming it to the point where you're a moron.
But the thing is, it made me. I started to keep my own list.
Yeah,
I've had some weird, and these weren't girls. Like
one girl dumped you for your dirty dick.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, you're making it sound like I gave somebody an STD.
No, but that was the claim, right? You have a dirty dick.
Well, she didn't dump me. She called me out because she got a what's it called?
Urinary tract infection.
So she tried to blame me, and I'm like, I don't think you know how that shit works. Like, you can get a UTI from anybody. Yeah, that was funny. Forgot about that. Good reminder. No, I was thinking about just certain reasons.
Oh, is the reason you asked because you just dumped a girl over her fucking pictures of herself?
I didn't dump any girl. That's why I was thinking about it. Yeah, I was thinking about, you know, what are reasons that I don't want to talk to a girl,
right.
And that was it. And I don't want to be because I have jokes about this on stage now. I don't want to reveal some of my jokes, but this one's a pretty funny one.
Yeah. What do you got?
So I think it's funny. I'm still working on it. Another thing that I thought she was a lunatic was how she named her dogs.
What'd she name her dogs?
Her dogs were Theodore and Arthur. And I'm like, those aren't dog names. Those are British royalty. Like, my other tag is, those aren't dog names. Those are old white guys who play golf at a country club. Like, I'm working on the bit. But that wouldn't be a reason to end a relationship. But I started thinking about some other things. Like, I could never get serious with a girl who owns cats. I couldn't.
I probably couldn't. Yeah. Certainly not. I certainly couldn't get serious with a smoker.
No, I couldn't either. But like, what are some weird things where you like to me, cat might be considered a weird thing.
Yeah. I mean, it would all have to I don't know, the cat situation. It would depend. It wouldn't be a sure thing. No.
Why you would own a cat over a dog says so much about you as a human being.
Yeah.
It really does. In fact,
my brother John has 3 cats.
You ever ask him about that?
No, I know it's because his wife had cats, and then he just like.
But I always say to those people who own cats, my response always is, they always say, well, we don't want the responsibility, and I'm like, of walking and feeding a dog, but you don't. And I hate people go, my cat's like a dog. I hate that line.
Yeah,
your cat is not like a dog, ever. It's just not. It's bullshit.
I mean, I used to do a joke about that. Like dogs, you throw a ball, they bring it back. You tell them to sit, they sit. Cats, they walk around, they give you dirty looks, and they shit in a box.
Yeah.
And my joke was always, if I wanted something that did that in my apartment, I would stay with my ex-girlfriend and made her shit in a box.
I think you should bring back all these
just
gems.
Ignoring everything I say and giving me dirty looks. I think that one might have made Joe Prano takes a stand.
It did.
Yeah.
That's right. It did. I do like that bit. No, actually, yeah. Keep writing new material.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why.
But the furries one never was like, that was a new bit that I really never did it. But maybe that'll be one because I need new jokes.
I like the furry one, bro. Like I said, if someone's laughing at that, they're laughing hard. Yeah.
I just like painting the picture of like a kid at his first ball game at like 12 with his dad. He sees the San Diego chicken, and suddenly he's like, "That was when I knew."
No, I like the Philly.
I started sweating.
I like the Philly fanatic.
Yeah, I didn't know what had come over me. I just got a weird feeling in my pants.
Got an erection.
Yeah.
Well, this was the idea we had for today, and by we, you. I think it's a great idea. Today in sports history, July 5th.
The show is being released. We're recording it on the 3rd, but it's being released on the 5th.
Which is also your birthday.
My 39th birthday.
So happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you. Yeah. July 5th. So a lot of things have happened in sports on July 5th.
A lot of things have happened. But before we get to these great things in sports history, I want to say you're looking pretty good in those flag and anthem gear.
Thank you. Some flag and anthem shorts, these light blues. I didn't bring these to New York because my girlfriend said they're just too California. She's like, you got to keep those here. But then I came back, put them right on, put them on with my palm tree shirt. This is like my Cali look here. Some bright blue shorts, nice palm tree shirt.
Now I'm rocking the flag and anthem shorts and the flag and anthem hat with my Thus the Process t-shirt. Guys, they got great gear for summer. So go to flagandanthem.com, drop promo code DIRTY. You get 25% off your first order.
I just wore a flag and anthem shirt to Stress Factory on Saturday. Got multiple compliments. 3 people, including the host of the show, was like, I like that shirt, bro. And I told all of them, flagandanthem.com, promo code DIRTY. Get yourself 25% off. And I even corrected myself. I said, get yourself 20% off. And I said, no, Flag and Anthem actually gives us 25% off.
It's changed my life.
I know.
It literally has changed my life.
You used to be Mr. Cargo Shorts.
Yeah. You know, like I said last episode, I went out to dinner with my friend Drew, and he straight up said to me, I was wearing Flag and Anthem jeans, a Flag and Anthem sweater. He goes, I don't even know this person now.
Yeah.
He's like, you're 30 pounds lighter. You actually don't dress like a child. And he straight up said to me, he goes, if you looked like this when you worked on Dirty Pop, he's like, gay dudes would have been losing their mind.
You're like, but I kept them at bay with my cargo pants and my Pornhub shirt.
So, guys, you can look just as good as us. Go to flagandanthem.com, drop promo code DIRTY to get 25% off your first order. And let them know we sent you. Tag us, tag them when you get that new gear. All right, so here's what we're going to do, Prano.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. We're going to set the we're going to turn on the flux capacitor. We're going to drop the hammer, try to get going to 88 miles an hour, and we're going to take a trip through time. And the year will change, but the date will stay the same. July 5th in sports history.
You want to start the first thing on this list I have?
Yeah, let's go from the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
1919.
1919.
Right before the Roaring 20s. Babe Ruth hit 2 home runs in a game for the first time.
Wow. How many times did he end up hitting it in his career?
72 times.
72. I'm sure he had some 3 home run games in there. I don't know if Babe Ruth ever had a 4 home run game. I'm sure he had some 3s, but you're already at 144 home runs just on your multi-homer games.
Old Babe Ruth.
Old Babe.
I'm going to toss some shade, though. These people who still want to claim one of the greats. I'm sorry. Again, until people of color were allowed to play the game, they had separate leagues. They had the Negro leagues, and they had Major League Baseball. I just can't do it.
Well, you can't take away what he did for the time. Like, it's not like Babe Ruth was personally against segregation. Like, he was the greatest player at the time. And the other thing you can't take away from Babe Ruth is just the effect he had on people caring about baseball. Like that, he's the first true superstar. Like, there's always stars, and then Babe Ruth is like a national star. Everybody came to the ball. He's the LeBron James, the Michael Jordan of baseball. People came to the ballpark to see the Babe. Babe's coming to town. Can't just sit at home and watch it on TV. We got to go see the Babe.
They need to do a good Babe movie, not that
John Goodman,
family-friendly PG movie.
Yeah,
agreed. Like, they need like an R-rated raw.
I think there has been 2 Babe movies. One of them was with Goodman.
And one starred a pig.
Yeah. You love that.
I don't know why. I'm not even stoned, but I think that's so funny.
Babe, pig in the city.
I remember I had a Spanish teacher. I've talked about her.
Babe.
Senorita Lorman from Peru. She made us watch that
Why that?
in Spanish.
Why babe?
I don't know. She was a nut job. Put me right to sleep.
See, I always think it's good to watch a movie in a different language that you've seen a ton. Like I'll do that whenever I go to Mexico. I always like try to brush up on my Spanish, so I'll watch like Top Gun in Spanish because I know every line of Top Gun. So now I know the translations.
But not Babe.
No, I've never seen Babe.
Yeah, I really haven't either. I don't count that time with Senorita Lurman.
See, this travel through time is already we started with the one thing that happened on July 5th. We're already talking about Babe in Spanish.
You know what? You want to hear a great story about her? I don't know if I've told this because you and I always forget the stories we've told on this show. We had to remember, or we had to recite the Our Father in Spanish. You know, obviously I went through Catholic high school.
Mi padre.
And we also had to memorize the Our Father, the Hail Mary, all the different prayers. And
because this is a Catholic school.
Yes. And my buddy, and I think he listens to the show, my buddy Devin and I don't know how we tried to con her, or like it was like a group project, but I taped the prayer on his back and he was like slightly standing in front of me. And that's how I was supposed to do it in front of the whole class. And she's like, move around. Like we blatantly were not hiding. Like, dude, you taped a giant prayer on his back.
Yeah.
And then she caught us. And then she's like, no, you guys, like, what are you doing?
She's like, no, me más angry.
Furioso.
They always pick the best, most like lavish word for the translation. Furioso.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have a tough time getting through this.
We'll start crushing.
All right, Joe DiMaggio, another Yankee.
What year is this?
1937.
Woo!
Hits his first Grand Slam.
Joe D. Gotta love Joe D. The first Italian superstar of baseball.
Yeah.
Fucked Marilyn Monroe.
Married Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Legend even.
Yeah. Was he big growing up? Do all the Italians love?
Oh yeah.
Joey D?
Yeah. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Italians love it. I mean, forever, like Ted Williams was brought up, like greatest living baseball player at times. I was like, I don't know. What about Joe D? Huh? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I can see that. Who's the greatest Italian Yankee?
Joe DiMaggio.
It's Joe D, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Who else would be up there?
I don't even know. Let's see. Italian. I don't even know. Girardi.
Oh, come on, bro.
I'm asking you, who are the standout Italian Yankees? Joe Pepitone? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's him by a landslide. All right.
I mean, he's the greatest Italian baseball player of all time, let alone Yankee.
The next two on this list are tennis.
Yeah.
Rod Laver wins Wimbledon in 1968. I have no clue who that is.
All I know is he has a pair of Adidas. There's Adidas Rod Lavers.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, which I've had many pairs of over the years. Sadly, they've sort of pissed on Rod Laver's grave. I always, for years, had a pair of Rod Lavers and a pair of Stan Smiths, and now I'm strictly a Stan Smith guy because the new Rod Lavers, like the newest iteration, are super heavy. They really made the Rod Lavers into moon boots. I believe he was Australian. Australian.
And in 1975, another tennis news, Arthur Ashe won the 89th Wimbledon.
Arthur Ashe, obviously Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. That's where they play the U.S. Open. I could be wrong, but gay black man?
You are 100% wrong.
Wrong. He wasn't gay?
He got his HIV from a blood transfusion.
Oh, poor Arthur Ashe.
I know.
And now people just call him gay behind his back. Unlike Magic Johnson, definitely gay.
Dude, I saw a new theory on Magic Johnson. Did you see the poll I put out? Did you see the results?
No.
So I put out a Twitter poll Sunday night of it's the most Andy Ruther-esque Twitter poll. Bigger accomplishment for Magic Johnson, signing LeBron James or beating HIV. And to be honest, it was a pretty big blowout. According to people on Twitter, 54% think getting LeBron is a bigger accomplishment than beating HIV. And that's with 2,328 votes. But I saw an interesting theory. We all know there's all the theories about Magic.
Yeah, being on the down low.
But not only that he never got
Never
HIV.
had HIV in the first place.
Here's a new one I never saw. Somebody's trying to claim that he did it so his wife couldn't take half of his earnings.
How's that work? What's the theory there?
Or wait, what was it? It was something. Yeah, hold on. What was the tweet? I was like, wait, what?
Because did he and his wife divorce?
No, they didn't. Cookie is his wife.
Is the theory that he's like laundering money through like fake HIV pills?
I don't know. I gotta go back to this person's tweet, but either that or that she had it, and he claimed he had it. This makes no sense at all, does it?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. She had it, so she couldn't take half his money. This is one of the crazier NBA conspiracy theories.
Well, this is from a dirtball, I'm pretty sure. Magic ain't got no HIV myth. Said it so Cookie wouldn't take half his money.
Blinking guy meme. I don't understand.
Yeah,
she was going to divorce him, but couldn't divorce him after he got AIDS or HIV. Maybe didn't want the bad PR of leaving a man who had HIV.
There's a lot of holes in this theory.
That's the best theory I could have for breaking down what he's trying to claim.
Yeah.
That Magic knew she was going to divorce him and take half his money, so he came up with a theory where if she looks like a real bad guy if she dumps him. That's the best I got.
And what's your theory?
Magic was on the down low and got the HIV from gay sex.
You think he's bisexual?
Yeah.
That's your theory.
Well, then you also got bisexual is like whatever. That's like a whole wormhole that we can't start going down. But like, or he's just gay. And he's just lived as a straight man.
I think he's either bisexual or he never had it.
Okay. A lot of theories that Magic was like down lowing around gay spots in the 80s.
Where are these sources?
The internet. That's where the conspiracy wormholes start.
Yeah, I know, but
you know the whole down low theory, right? That there's like down low clubs like that guys go out and they're like black guys are on the down low gay, but then like there's these down low clubs where they all meet with each other.
But there's just as many stories and articles on Magic concerning all the lavish, wild Jerry Buss parties and Playboy parties and sex parties.
Yeah, because you got to keep up a cover. You got to be Magic Johnson. Oh, I party. I'm always out. I'm always dancing.
Now his son is extremely gay.
Right. And everybody that has a brain at this point knows nature, not nurture, right?
Hereditary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would assume so.
Yeah. I mean, look, there are people out there who still think, LeBron James is 7th all time in the NBA. So, like, the idea that people are... The idea that like everybody knows, the idea that everybody understands everything at this point.
True. In fact, I even saw an article the other day that the flat Earth people out there, they're growing.
Yeah, not surprised.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me either.
Make the Earth flat again.
God, there's so many idiots. Okay, so let's move along. We're up to 1992.
July 5th, 1992.
The Dream Team wins their final game of the Basketball Tournament of America. This is pre-Olympics.
Yeah.
They defeat Venezuela 127-80. They won all 6 of those games in that tournament by an average of 51.5 points.
And I'm sure that like had something to do with their seeding in the Olympic tournament and qualifying and whatever. But obviously that was just the beginning of them rolling through the Olympics.
I will never forget that summer. I will never
it was fantastic.
Forget watching the Dream Team.
I collected the Dream Team cards. I had the Dream Team shirt with all of them on it. I mean, how about this? I had a Michael Jordan Dream Team jersey and a Patrick Ewing Dream Team jersey.
Number 9.
Yep, number 9 and number 6.
Why did those guys choose those numbers?
So in Olympic play, you have to have basically they were just numbered like 1 through 13. And Jordan took 9 because Jordan was 45 in high school, and then 4 plus 5 is 9.
Sure.
Patrick Ewing 6, 33. 3 plus 3, 6. I think David Robinson was 5. 5 plus 0, 5. Fascinating, right? And then Bird was 7. I guess Patrick got there first.
I distinctly remember visiting one of my great aunts at like her nursing facility, wherever it was. And I remember my mom talking to her. We were in her room and the game was on. And I just remember being like, this is just like, just the pride of seeing them just, I don't remember who they were playing, just decimate some team.
Croatia. Yeah.
I mean, it was
Angola. Remember when they just,
I think that was the first game.
Yeah. They beat the shit out of Angola.
Charles Barkley got in a fight.
Yeah. There's a great Dream Team documentary, by the way.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
30 for 30?
There was a 30 for 30. Then there was another. There was like an NBA.
Yes.
There's an
for
NBA.
NBA TV. I watched it. I think we watched it in San Francisco.
Yeah. Was there a 30 for 30?
No, I think it's the one we watched.
Yeah. It was an NBA production.
The night I met the chick who tried to peg me.
My favorite part of that one is when the captains of the team, which were Bird and Magic, were taking a picture with the star of the team, Michael Jordan. And Jordan's down below, and Magic and Larry are up on like apple boxes behind them, so they could be like a little bit taller. And Magic goes, "Don't get too close to Michael, or else it's a foul."
Yeah, that is a great line, man.
And Barkley walking to, he would just like get out and walk. And then there was a story about Stockton getting out and walking too, and people didn't believe it was him. Like people were like, he was like videotaping other people.
Yeah, in Barcelona.
Yeah.
All right, 1993.
July 5th, 1993.
Ricky Henderson leads off both games of a doubleheader with a home run. It was the first time since 1913 that had occurred. So it was exactly 80 years later.
That's kind of awesome. Both games of a doubleheader, leading off with a homer.
God, he was so good.
So good. Like, honestly, when we talked about it on slides, like Ricky's like a fringe on the all-time outfield. When you talk about runs scored, stolen bases, home runs he hit, defensive ability, like he's a fringe. He's like, I don't think he's in my all-time outfield, but he's like just out of my all-time outfield.
Beast.
Ridiculous.
Longevity.
And he loved hitting leadoff homers. Like, I bet you went up there. Like, that's full Willie Mays Hayes Major League 2 action. Like, I bet you to lead off games, he was just looking to lift.
Yeah.
I wonder what I would love to see his like on base percentage from like the beginning of games to like his second at bat. Because I bet you he was out there just going like, I'm jacking a homer.
Sure. All right, I'm going to skip through a couple of these. I'm going to move ahead to 1998. The Yankees win on this date, July 5th, 1998, and are 61-20, the best MLB record in history after 81 games.
That was 98?
Correct.
So that was just like in their machine years. 61 and so that means what is between in 88 games or 61 and 27?
No, after 81 games.
Wow. 61 and 20? Jeez. So they're winning 700 like it's a 750 plus winning percentage.
Now, I was in high school, and I remember that team. Now, was that the team? I think it was. I think that was the team that swept the Padres in the World Series.
That 98? Could have been.
Tony Gwynn's team?
Yeah.
I believe it was. Now, I remember my teacher, dude, this talk about dating. This is 1998 in the fall. I would have been entering I would have been the start of my junior year in high school. We had to do a PowerPoint presentation, and this was all new. Like PowerPoint was still pretty new. We had to do PowerPoint presentations for our computer science class, and I remember it was debating the best lineups of all time, and of course the Yankees were on there.
Yeah,
and then I, of course, had I forget who was on there, but the big red machine was. And it's funny that I want to bring this up. I actually went back and I looked, and I went down a Reddit wormhole this week of looking. I was just curious. Best all-time MLB lineups. And a lot of people were saying the 75, 76 Reds teams or those Reds teams. And it was interesting, Brent. I'd love to hear your take on this. I think this would be good maybe for Dirty Slides too. So if you look at those Reds teams in the 70s, they made four. Somebody was making a good point on Reddit. They only won 2 World Series.
Yeah.
Like they made it to 4. But somebody's point was this. From like 73, I think, to the end of the 70s, their lineup had 4 Hall of Famers consistently.
Yeah.
You had Bench, Morgan, Rose. I mean, we're going to toss him in there. Perez. Then you also have our boy up there, George Foster, who won an MVP in 77. Like, the argument was that Reds lineup is arguably for sure a top 3 all-time lineup.
Yeah.
In baseball history.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then, I mean, you've got the 60s Yankees, right?
Yeah.
You got Mantle, Maris. You've got Yogi Berra is in there. Like, that's already 3 Hall of Famers. Like, guarantee there's somebody else on that team.
And then people were bringing up actually the 2017 Astros lineup.
Pretty ridiculous, honestly. Like, when all is said and done, there's going to be, I mean, you got 2 probably potential Hall of Famers in the middle infield there. And then, yeah. But their lineup's like not quite as like superstar studded, but like theirs is like star studded, but not superstar studded. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're kind of low key. Like, whereas a lot of teams, you have a couple stars and then you got a couple like not so great players. It's like the Astros team, they're all like well above average players.
I'm gonna have you guess. How many wins did the Yankees finish with that year?
Let's see. That was 98.
So at the midway point,
they're 61-20. So I mean, even if I'm gonna go 108.
114.
Wow.
You want to see their starting lineup?
Yeah, it's pretty absurd.
Okay.
Tino Martinez.
So their starting lineup.
Here, let me see if I can do it. Girardi, catching. Tino Martinez. Am I so far so good?
Well, wait a second. I'm looking. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at order. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm trying to go around the line. So Girardi is catching.
Yeah, you're right.
Tino Martinez at first base.
Yeah.
Chuck Knobloch at second.
You're right.
Jeter at short.
Yeah.
Brocious at third.
Yeah. For the most part. Although Posada was seeing. Or no. Sorry. Yeah. I'm looking at lineups. I was confused. Yes, Brocious at third.
Paul O'Neill right field.
Correct.
Bernie Williams in center field.
Correct.
And then their left fielder was like an interchangeable. Like that was I don't know. Is like Shane Spencer starting for them?
It was Spencer at times, but I see a lot of Curtis.
Right. Yep. Chad Curtis.
Raines.
Yep.
Made some starts. Strawberry.
Yeah, that left field was sort of interchangeable.
A lot of Curtis though.
Yeah.
Yeah, their opening day lineup was Chuck Knobloch, Derek Jeter, Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez. What's Davis's first name?
Chili Davis.
Oh, Chili Davis.
Yep.
Then Curtis, then Brocious at 8, and then Girardi at the 9 hole.
Pretty good. My Alzheimer's hasn't fully set in yet.
That's pretty good.
For a fucking Mets fan, huh? I couldn't tell you the Mets 98 lineup, that's for sure.
Yeah. Wow. All right, here's another good one in the 90s. Juan Gonzalez.
Juan Gon.
Also in 98.
Igor.
Same day, July 5th.
July 5th.
1998. Juan Gonzalez becomes the second MLB player.
So it sounds like the All-Star break was July 5th that year.
Yeah. Juan Gonzalez becomes the second player in MLB history to have over 100 RBIs before the All-Star break. The previous person was Hank Greenberg with 103 in 1935. Juan Gonzalez. There is a blast from the past.
That's a guy who That he's a total victim of the steroid era. Like 2-time MVP, definitely over 400 home runs. I don't think he got to 500.
434.
434. 2-time MVP, like a legit. He was the Giancarlo Stanton of his day. Screaming line drive hitter. Juan Gone, big Texas Rangers. It was Gonzalez, Pudge Rodriguez. That was those Palmeiro. That was those Rangers teams.
They were all doing steroids together.
Yeah, but no one talks about him. I mean, he has Hall of Fame numbers.
He finished with 400
He has two more MVPs than Derek Jeter ever did.
34 home runs, 1,400 RBIs.
That's ridiculous.
295 batting average. Finished with a 561 slugging percentage.
And I think he finished that year with like 158 RBI or something like that.
157. His final stats for 1998. Juan Gonzalez. Listen to this. 50 doubles, 157 RBIs, 45 home runs.
I think he was like one of
318 batting average.
Yeah, he's one of like a handful of players ever to have 50 doubles and 40 homers.
And he finished batting 318.
MVP.
I'm
surprised he never played for the Yankees, honestly. I'm surprised they didn't have him in left field.
He won MVP 2 out of 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Or 2 out of 3 years.
98?
Yeah. 96 and 98. And who knows how old he really was.
Right.
Because he's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah. And his nickname was Igor, so he's probably 70.
Yeah.
They're like, Igor, down to the lab.
I think he had a Jerry curl at one point.
Oh,
didn't he?
yeah. He had a crazy Jerry curl. Yeah, it was great. Definitely a steroid guy, though.
That lineup, man.
Yeah. And they were like never that good.
No.
Pudge, Juan Gone, Palmeiro. Kevin Brown was on that team, wasn't he, for a minute? Kenny Rogers.
That's right.
Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Yeah.
I think Nolan was on those teams.
You know what I would like to do, though? I'd like to go, we're talking about going back in time. I'd like to go back in time and use my SeatGeek promo code. Imagine how good the $20 off would be in 1998, 20 years ago.
Yeah. It'd be fantastic. You could sit anywhere at ballpark at Arlington, even the fresh new ballpark at Arlington.
Yeah, right.
$20, you'd be sitting after the $20 promo code. You could afford tickets on the dugout.
You could
watch Juan Gone shooting up.
Dirtballs, take advantage of this great offer that we have with SeatGeek. Get your tickets for any live event, sports, comedy,
this
concerts.
Lifetime or the last.
Yeah. In fact, you could use your ticket on SeatGeek and print out your tickets and save those stubs, and you can go back in time and look back and have those lovely memories.
Yeah,
couldn't you?
Yeah. SeatGeek, promo code DIRTY.
Just download the SeatGeek app because, best of all our listeners get $20 off their first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code DIRTY today. That's promo code DIRTY for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. All right, let's move along. A lot of this is baseball, of course, because it's baseball
and
season.
Wimbledon. And
yeah. 1998 again. A lot going on in 98. Roger Clemens gets his 3,000 strikeout.
1998. 98 was a big year for milestones.
Yeah. He finishes with
another steroid guy.
He finishes with 4,600. Are you following his kid at all? His kid was in the who's his kid play for?
I have no idea. But I know his name starts with a K. Colby, Curtis, Kevin.
He was in the
Kelsey.
He was in the baseball, the College World Series. I mean, not the actual World Series. I don't know.
Does he play for Texas?
Tournament. I think he might.
Is it Colby Clemens? Because he named them all K's because he's a fucking strikeout guy.
Why?
Yeah, that's a terrible one.
Oh. He named all his kids K's because of strikeouts.
Yeah.
Cheddar.
Yeah.
Dude, how insecure do you have to be?
Except the kids he had in the late 90s. Then he had Hank, Greta, and another Henry. So he was trying to tell us. He had HGH there in the late 90s.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But that's just a sign of your insecurity. Like, dude, you've accomplished so much.
Yeah. I mean, George Foreman named all his kids George.
But I don't think that's the George Foreman naming all his kids George.
Urban legend.
It's just him being weird.
Yeah.
Like that's a little different than like naming all your kids with K. Oh God, what a! I mean,
And it's always things like Colby, but it's like, dude, there are names that start with K. You don't have to make names that start with C into K names.
yeah.
It's like Chris with a K. Is your name Carl's? It's actually Charles, but we just spelled the K.
All right, let's move on. 1999, Joe.
The year was 1999, July 5th.
This sounds like something Jacob deGrom was going through. Randy Johnson loses his third game in a row. In the 3 games that he's lost, Arizona has not scored a run, and he had 43 strikeouts.
That's gross.
In those 3 games.
43, that's just under 15 strikeouts a game.
It's a little over 14 strikeouts a game.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And his team didn't score a run once to back him up.
And he lost all 3.
All
he didn't
3.
just get no decisions. He lost.
Yes.
That's like the next level of what DeGrom was happening to DeGrom. And then 2 years later, World Series.
Yeah.
3 years later, they won in 2001.
So 2 years.
You said 99.
99, yeah.
Sorry, I thought we were still stuck in 1998.
We've moved on from 98. Now we're up to 2001. Greg Maddux, who at this time is currently on the Braves, gets his 250th win, and he ends the season with 15 or more for the 14th year in a row.
That's crazy.
He won 15 or more games.
Greg Maddux, the single best pitcher of all time. Like just in terms of like actually being a pitcher, because he didn't have the best stuff.
Yeah.
He just had the best control. He just had the best approach. Like Greg Maddux with Clemens stuff or Randy Johnson stuff or Pedro stuff is like next. I mean, he still was already doing it more consistently, better, longer than all those dudes.
And what I love about Greg Maddux is he looked just like a dad or like your chemistry teacher in high school.
Total dad. Did you see the thing that he did recently where he like dressed up like a batting practice pitcher and like struck out Chris Bryant? Chris Bryant was like, "What the fuck was that?" Because he literally looks like you said, a chemistry teacher. He's like, "Guys, here's how changeups work." You're like, "What's happening?" And that's essentially what he was doing. He was essentially a major league physics teacher, and he was teaching dumb jocks how changeups worked. And they never figured it out. They never passed that class.
Who else would be in the Greg Maddux realm of that type of guy who's like, what would you call it? Because you're saying he doesn't have the stuff of these guys who can just throw heat.
A Jamie Moyer, who ended up playing super late in his career. Another guy, lefty, fastball changeup. You don't need anything but a fastball changeup. You don't. It's just timing. If you're looking for a fastball, you're not going to hit a changeup. If you're looking for a changeup, you're not going to hit a fastball. And if you're painting the corners, yeah. Seaver had pretty good stuff, but also a great pitcher. I talked about that on Dirty Slides recently in Keith Hernandez's book. He talks about how there's one game where he just didn't have it, but he was just such a good pitcher that he got by with when he didn't have his stuff that day, and he threw his only no-hitter. That was when he was with the Reds.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Jacob deGrom. DeGrom is a guy. I mean, DeGrom's stuff's pretty filthy, but your boy Mesorasko was saying like he hasn't put it together the whole year. Like he's never had the game where he just like has it all going.
Yeah.
The control and the off speed stuff and whatever. And like he's just a bulldog.
I followed Maddux for a minute on Twitter because he was trolling like years ago.
I didn't follow him. Who was he trolling?
He would troll his daughter a lot.
Nice.
On Twitter.
Is his daughter hot?
I think she was. I forget.
Do you remember the old Maddux Glavin Chicks Dig the Long Ball commercial? That was legendary.
I don't. What was that one?
It was like a Nike baseball commercial, and they were like in the batting cage. It was like, all right, guys, time to practice our bunts. And they're like, bunts? We're not bunting. And they were like, trying to hit homers. Like, chicks dig the long ball. Like, guys, we need you to bunt. He's like, nah.
How did the Braves only win one title?
It's unbelievable. Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz.
And then even Avery was pretty good for a minute.
Yeah, Avery. They had Wohlers. Yeah, they were ridiculous.
How'd they only win one title?
They won the pennant every year for 2 decades. They literally won like 15 straight pennants. Like, they won the NL East every year. Well, first they were winning the NL West. They were winning it so long, they were winning the NL West, then they were winning the NL East.
Who's their only title against?
The Cleveland Indians, 1995.
Man, how? How do they only win one?
Yeah. Lost to the Yankees, lost to the Twins. Did they make it to the World Series twice? Did they lose to the Yankees a second time?
Did they ever lose to the Blue Jays?
The Blue Jays beat the Phillies.
Yeah, the Mitch Williams meltdown.
They might have beaten it could have been a Braves team. I don't remember.
All right, moving on. We're up to 2002, July 5th, 2002. Ted Williams dies at the age of 83.
Technically.
Is he still frozen?
Yeah, just his head, though.
Oh, God, that's so creepy. Why?
Because when we figure it out, he'll be able to come back and just be like a head in a jar teaching kids how to hit sliders. He's going to be like Krang.
He finished with a 344 lifetime average.
I mean, that's stupid.
Yeah.
344 lifetime average. How good you got to be to hit 344 for a career? By the way, he left, was a fighter pilot in World War II, came back, kept hitting. Another that's a guy who's like straight up, like they talk about Jordan. Oh, Jordan would have won 8 straight. We always forget that he lost to the Magic and averaged 35 points. Oh, I would have won 8 straight if he didn't. What? Quit? Ted Williams came back, and Ted Williams went to war.
Ted Williams killed a bunch of Japanese people.
Yeah.
And then came back and then continued
higher average as a fighter pilot than as a baseball player, which is remarkable. You know why?
What a badass. What
crazy good vision. That's what makes you a good hitter. It's what makes you a good fighter pilot.
I was going to say that makes you excel at both.
Yep.
And, of course, we all know his infamous 406 season in 1941.
The last guy to hit 400.
Will it ever be done again?
That's hard. That's gonna be really hard to for somebody to do that again, especially with the style of play these days. Big swing and miss cuts for a lot of people, but even the contact guys with the shifts, with the analytics, putting people where I just don't know.
Now back to his frozen head. Was that his idea?
I believe it was,
or was that his family's?
I think maybe his son. I know his son took a brunt of like people being angry about it, but I mean, he knew he was dying. Like, remember didn't they do an all-star game at Fenway and he came out and like they drove him out on the cart?
Yeah.
Like, when you're driving on the cart, you know the end is near.
I think that was when they did was it 50 or 100 greatest players of all time?
Yeah.
I want to say that was because that was a big deal because that was the first time Pete Rose was ever back on the field.
Right.
After he was banned. And I think that's when Jim Gray, was it Jim Gray?
Yeah.
Who asked him to comment? Just being a total dick.
Jim Gray. Like top 100 cheddar dicks of all time, for sure.
I've talked about this.
We should do a Dirty Sports exclusive top 50 cheddar dicks of all time.
Top 50 cheddar dicks?
We would reel them off so easy.
Start reeling some off.
Jim Gray. Marlins man.
I knew you were going to say
that. I mean, there's so many of them out there.
Kirchin, like, are we going to start naming reporters?
I mean, I don't know if Kirchin makes the top 50, but like.
Zach Hampel?
Oh, classic cheddar. Like, he might be top 10. The cheddar dickery of Hampel. How many? I mean, just think about all the people we've gone over the years. In just like the cheddar dick pile.
In the Dirty Sports cheddar dick pile.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't been using cheddar dick as much lately.
I know. I still use it all the time. I just feel like it hasn't made the show in a while.
I
often use the cheese emoji, eggplant emoji.
well, I have my first ever. We keep talking about jokes. I have my first ever joke where I say cheddar dick on stage, and I'm going to be really curious to see how the
Preview it. New bits.
So basically, my premise is
Real kooks.
I talk about how I'm in the closet about being like a guy who rides a bicycle because bicycle people are such assholes. Like I don't want to be associated
Cyclists.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be associated with cyclists because we all know that they're all are they not all assholes?
Yeah. Big. Well, definitely a high cheddar dick factor.
But that's my thing. That's kind of where I end up calling. I'm still working on the bit, but yeah, it's basically I'm just so, and I've tweeted this. I'm so sick of, every cyclist is the same person. Treat us like cars, but they're not going to obey any stoplights or crosswalks.
Also, you're not a car.
Yeah.
You're like the transgenders of vehicles. Like, I identify as a car. Well, I think you're a bike.
I might work that in.
Yeah.
I like that. I identify as a bike. But they all dress like cheddar dicks.
Yeah.
But I don't get it. Like when I was biking the other day, Prano, they're so aggressive. Not even on the street. Like I was on the bike path going to Playa del Rey, and they're like making noises. They're going by me. I'm like, you guys, what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? You're riding by me? Look, the water's right here. This is gorgeous. Why do you got to be a cheddar dick? I dress like that. What are those shoes they wear? What do those shoes do?
So it's got to be they clip into the pedal. So when you pull your foot back up on the come around, you're like actually pulling the pedal with you instead of using the centripetal force to stay on the pedal.
So it makes it easier.
Yeah.
So fuck you. You're a pussy.
Yeah.
No, fuck those people. So wait a second. So they want it easier to pedal a bicycle.
Yeah.
Oh, what a bunch of cowards. I'm gonna start my own.
What a bunch of cowards.
I mean, it's not a workout. You gotta be feeling the burning in the legs.
So safe to say Lance Armstrong is making our 50 greatest cheddar dicks of all time?
Yeah, he could.
Especially for calling people. He was like suing people who said he was on HGH.
But I think Lance Armstrong was just a dick.
Yeah. But dick plus cyclist equals cheddar dick.
Good point. All right, a few more. 2003, Serena Williams beats Sister Venus at Wimbledon. I feel like that's happened a lot.
Yeah, although maybe I assume that's in the finals.
I assume.
Yeah.
We need to get on our boy Michael Costa to refresh us on that.
Yeah.
Is he still on the Daily Show?
I believe he is, yeah.
Dustin the Daily Show?
Still thusting the process.
Yeah. You know what they need? I think you said this. Why don't they have a conservative show that's comedy?
Oh, conservatives don't have a sense of humor.
That's why.
That's easy. Yeah.
There's no conservative comedian who could do that.
I don't know.
Dennis Miller? I guess he's old.
Yeah, I have no idea. But like,
I'll tell you from a marketing perspective.
Sure. I mean, what's funny is Colbert did that in tongue in cheek. And like, that's the closest they had was somebody that was blatantly making fun of them.
But that's what I'm saying.
And it's funny because back in the day when Dennis Miller did his show, it wasn't super conservative at all. Like the Dennis Miller show on HBO.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a conservative slant. He's just become a conservative now. I mean, I think he's always been a Republican, but.
All right, a couple more. 2004, Eric Gagne's streak of 84.
I love all of our HGH news.
A lot of HGH news.
Eric Gagne in those glasses.
His streak of 84 consecutive saves ends. It was 30 more than the previous record.
Yeah.
So is that the year he won the MVP?
Probably. Or if it wasn't the year he won, it might have been the year before where he was like 100% for like 60, and then that year he blows one. But yeah.
Well, and to finish up all this HGH baseball stuff, in 2005, Manny Ramirez hit his 20th Grand Slam on July 5th, 2005. And he only trails Lou Gehrig with 23.
Lou Gehrig, the most Grand Slams of all time. The Iron Horse.
I loved when Manny came out here.
Yeah.
Because this, I think, was before.
Remember they had Manny Wood in left field?
Yeah. But do you remember at Dodger Stadium, you could buy
the Manny hat, the Manny hair.
You could buy the Scully cap and the Manny hair. And my buddy Jesse, who I think you've met, he bought that and wore it the whole game. He thought it was the funniest thing.
What's so funny is I went to a Giants Mets game. First time I went to AT&T, and my buddy bought a Panda hat. He for Sandoval, and he was a Mets fan, and we got so drunk together that at one point I took his hat off and I just threw it, and it landed, and somebody just like took his hat, and then he went out to get like a beer, and he was so drunk that he got kicked out of the ballpark, and we never found him again that night. And the next day I called him.
He's dead.
Yeah, the next day I called him. It's my buddy Ian who owns McDuff's up in Tahoe. Check out McDuff's in South Lake Tahoe. Best pub in Tahoe. The next day I was like, dude, what happened to you? He's like, I got drunk. I went to get another beer, and they kicked me out because I was so drunk. And then my phone ran out of juice. So I just went back to my hotel, and I was like, dude, I thought you left because I took off your Panda. I thought you were mad at me because I took off your Panda hat and threw it, and somebody basically stole it. And he's like, was I wearing a Panda hat? I was like, yeah, dude, you bought a Kung Fu Panda hat. And he's like, oh, I'm a fucking asshole. You should have taken that off and thrown it. I was like, that's amazing.
I feel like baseball is the best game of all sports to just get shit-faced at,
Yeah,
right?
it's fun. Just go. Like, you don't miss a ton. Like, if you get up and, like, in the middle of a game, the only time you have to really worry about it is if it's like a super, like, pitcher's duel. Like, if you're like DeGrom, Kershaw, you might want to not miss any action because somebody hits a homer and that's the whole game. But for most baseball games, you can kind of safely get up anytime you want, go get a beer and come back. Like, you would never get up, from a football game, like while your team has the ball at the 50,
Yeah.
Like, what if I miss a touchdown?
I know. I got to get back to Dodger Stadium, actually.
Mets are out here, I think, in August.
I usually try to go to one a month.
And month of the Thust month.
Oh, the month of August? Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed.
You went when the Reds were here.
I missed June, though. Every year I try to go to one game a month. But I missed June. But
you went in May?
Yeah.
To the Reds game?
Yeah.
You didn't go in April, or did you?
We all went.
Oh, right. Yeah, we went. That's when we went with the interns?
That was the night of the infamous.
Oh, right. 420. That's amazing. So you missed June. You got to get back on in July.
God, I was stoned.
Yeah, it was amazing. You handed over all of our shit.
I'm such a dude. I'm just a lightweight. I realized I took one hit from the vape pen last week. One fucking hit. I was so stoned. It was the first time I probably smoked in.
I was so stoned. I had a fucking dart in my neck.
It was like the first time I smoked probably in 10 or 11 days. I don't smoke that much. I was so baked though. I sat down to write, and I just was like, dude, what are you writing? Like, it was just gibberish. I sat at the table at my desk. You
wrote that great cheddar dick cycling joke.
It's literally when I was writing those jokes. I was stoned trying to write cyclist jokes.
You wrote a whole bit around cheddar dick. Like, who's cheddar dicks? How do I get cheddar dick? I want to work cheddar dick into the popular culture.
So stupid. Well, Prano, that is this date in sports history, July 5th. Now, this list ends at 2012. So if anything happened in the last 5 years.
What's the website name?
sportshistory365.blogspot.com.
Nice. Shout out to that guy. I believe his name's Mike. Mike, shout out to you for putting together a list of things that happened on my birthday in sports history.
Pick the most random site. Mike K, 0 comments. Okay.
It was a good list, though.
Was a good
list. I'm surprised
list.
More stuff didn't happen in the Olympics. I guess the Summer Olympics are usually later, right? In August?
Yeah, I don't know. No Olympics on there.
No. But we did have the dream team, so obviously the Olympics were later.
Yeah. Well, Prano, that's the episode.
That's it. Happy 39th birthday to your boy.
Send him lots of love on social media at Fix Your Life.
That's right. At Fix Your Life on Twitter, Joe Prano on Instagram. Go to joeprano.com if you want to see some shows. I will be in Lake Chelan, Washington, starting tonight.
Celebrating your birthday.
Celebrating my birthday tonight and the birth of America. Tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday.
Perfect.
Lake Chelan. Come buy me a Lake Chelan cider. I think it's 7.0 alcohol by volume. Yeah, your boy about to get litty on some apple fucking juice, basically apple juice.
That could get me back in the drinking game.
Oh, dude,
that sounds delicious.
I had it at Brick and Mortar down here in Santa Monica, and they brought it out to me. Didn't even look like booze. Doesn't even look like a beer. It's basically like clear. It looks like this, like the slightest hint of like sour apple, like greenish. And I had it. It was so strong and so good. I can't wait to devour it all weekend in Lake Chelan.
When I lived in Europe for a semester in college, I lived off Strongbow. I love cider.
Yeah. I've become quite a cider guy myself lately. I also love doing a Guinness and cider. Ooh, that's so good.
Snake bite?
Yeah. So if you're in Washington, come out and check that out. I'll be with Eddie Ift. I'll be with Eddie Ift back in Washington next week at a Bingle Fest. And then in a couple of weeks, I'll be down in La Jolla with your boy Eddie Ift again.
And if you guys want to send more Dirtball mail, I mean, we have so much space on these walls.
Yeah.
Slide into those DMs. Follow me at Andy Ruther, Joe at Fix Your Life, the show at The Dirty Sports. And as always, guys, give us love on iTunes. Please do it. If you haven't done it, it takes 2 seconds.
And if you have done it, then do it for Dent Report. And if you've done it for Dent Report, then do it for Dirty Slides. I am going to continue to fuss the process today. I honestly might have to nap for like 5 minutes sitting up. About to record a Dirty Slides right after this. So rate, review, and subscribe to any Dirty Sports podcast network show. And yeah, just like let's dust it.
I literally changed. I went and I had to go in the back end on this actually last year. I had to figure it out. I went in on the back end on iTunes. If you look at like, let's say Dirty Slides, underneath that, it says Dirty Sports. If you click on that, all the shows pop up.
Really?
Same thing for Dent Report. So now I went in on the back end. I figured it out. They're all right there to leave reviews, guys. Takes 2 seconds. That is the show. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Hopefully I'll see Joe again sometime soon.
Yeah.
And most importantly, don't forget, condoms are for pussies.